fully agree with you for the policy of the British, and I referred to that in my speech. And you have right that we can say that Cyprus is not the only example of implementing the well-known doctrine of divide and rule. But we have a constitution in Cyprus, and the constitution is, despite the content of the constitution and the problems that creates, is the source of the recognition of the Cyprus Republic. And the basis on which the Cyprus Republic is being built her road to the future. We can't ignore the political problems of 1974 if we want to continue our efforts, both communities, to build their own common vision. I believe that the lack of common vision, of common struggle between the two communities, even from the 50s, was one of the reasons why we didn't manage through the years to tackle the foreign interventions, to tackle the British policy of divide and rule, and at the same time to overcome the difficulties of the Constitution, to overcome the problems of the independency, and to solve the problems and to move together. We felt as a people in the traps of the foreigners, of the ruling classes of the motherlands, and now we are suffering and we are trying to solve the Cyprus issue day by day, year by year, and you know, with that the passage of the time make the whole problem more difficult to be resolved. But we shall continue. I agree with you that both Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots shall find the common ground on which they have to stand and to continue their efforts in order to achieve a solution to the Cyprus issue.
If we suppose that Turkey do not really care about to become a member of the European Union, and I will explain to you why they don't care. Because European Union would be an obstacle to their plans to become a super mini power, local mini power in the Balkans, the Middle East and Caucasus. Turkey cannot become that local mini superpower in that area of the world and simultaneously be a member of the European Union. As a matter of fact, Turkey occupies the northern part of Cyprus by the force, with the army. So why to negotiate a solution? Why to risk to have pushed out its troops and its military bases on the island? And the moment they have the upper hand. So I don't think, I want your comment, is time to review the strategy of, okay, Turkey wants to be a member, he has to respect the human rights and international law, that's why would help to find a solution. I think, I want your comment on that.
You know that we live in a very hard world. The world of the new world order.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, usually the right policy or the legal policy is the right of powerful country or the powerful entities.
Yeah.
So we have to take into account the interests of the countries in the region, in the European Union, and even in the wider spectrum. And at the same time, to try to find which could be the incentives of each country, and especially of Turkey, that will create a dynamic of taking the proper decisions. One of the incentives, of course, is the European aspirations of Turkey. Despite the difficulties of Turkey, because on her way to Europe, the Cyprus issue, unfortunately, is not the only problem for Turkey. She has many other problems. For example, the stance of big countries in the European Union, which are against the membership of Turkey in the European Union. And Turkey uses this to say that why to make any cohesions, any compromises on the Cyprus issue? I don't see any clear prospect of being member of the European Union because of the stance of other countries in the European Union. We have to take into account this, to know the difficulties, and of course to know the possibilities of using them in order to create a dynamic of a solution. This is the way of following and to creating a policy. To say just, look, the just thing is the resolutions of the United Nations, so Turkey must fulfill the resolutions in Cyprus. Of course, this is the demand from Turkey is not enough. You have to find incentives, levers, as you said, in order to exert pressure and influence on Turkey. We have many other problems. I mean, talking about Turkey, the internal situation in Turkey, the controversies between the pro-European forces and the so-called Kemalist establishment.
Absolutely.
And in front of us are the elections, the general elections in Turkey in May. And if you see the polls now in Turkey, the main party of the opposition, the Republican Party, now is coming up and is strengthening its positions, and this is something that creates worries on the parties of Mr. Erdogan. Mr. Erdogan has to face the Republican Party, the Kemalist establishment, and I don't think that at this moment Turkey is ready to make any cohesions on the Cyprus issue. And this is why, on my opinion, Turkey now doesn't have the solution of the Cyprus issue very high in her priorities. It's something that probably could come up after the general elections of May 2011. This is my opinion. So, the situation is very complicated. But our duty is to search, to seek for every possibility in order to use it to open and dynamic, to create a dynamic for a solution of the Cyprus issue.